the left-hand side there. Mikawai is someone who prefers to be kind of all around the whole world. He likes all countries. Doesn't really have anything that he's particularly strong at. Though he lists tricky countries as Indonesia, India, and Turkey. So we'll have to see if we find any of that. And it looks like we're very close to getting to our first game here, chat.
Very close to starting. Yeah. So I think Eternal's main strength might be Canada. So let's see if that comes up. But let's jump into the first location then.
Absolutely, and for context, we're not controlling the whatever's happening on the stream, like the pre-game stuff. That's all happening on the live end in Stockholm. So here we are, first round. I would say that this round is fairly rural, so we may actually see a fair amount of points, but we have a kilometer marker here. And that one, which country does that belong to, would you say?
That looks like an Argentina one, and I believe that's a national road marker.
Yeah.
From what I can see. So, with a bit of landscape knowledge and with a bit of landscape knowledge and scanning, I would say that should be findable, that road. But
absolutely, we have some sunflower plantations and some hills there to our north. Which, I mean, hills are very useful. One of the most useful clues in Argentina. Yeah,
I think Southern BA can make. I mean, Miko's scanning Southern BA.
Looks like he does have the road number 226 there. Whereas Eternal has not found the kilometer marker yet. Significant damage here, I'd say. And there you go. Yeah,
great guess from Miko there. Yeah. I think the landscape wise, that southern part of BA makes sense with those hills. Probably quite a long road, so it makes a good region guess.
And it's interesting because east of the Andes in Argentina, it's quite a flat country, lots of plains which have slight elevation but not too much. And so you really, without the road number there, might have struggled, as Eternal did, to kind of put two and two together and work out that it is those kind of rare southern hills that you get actually on the east coast instead of the west border with Chile. Okay, why don't you take us through something about the next round, Rory, because it looks like it's quite distinctive here.
All right, let's have a look. I believe we have some Thai language there.
Yeah.
So, not always the easiest country moving, but Eternal has found something very useful that says Ratchathani. So, but Miko's found something too. They both actually found good info here, so I think we should see quite close guesses.
Right. Yeah, true. So we have the road numbers, which are one of the best clues if you can't read Thai script in Thailand, because at least they have Roman, at least they have Arabic numerals, so everyone can read those.
Both players decently far apart though.
Yeah, they're quite far apart once again. Yeah.
So we could see some damage.
Okay. Looks like we have maybe Mikawai considering moving closer towards. Oh yeah, and it was out that way. Okay. He almost moved on to that city, I think. He was just considering.
Yeah. That's good though for Eternal to get 500 back. That's what you need. You just need something to get your confidence up a bit. Just take some damage off your opponent.
Absolutely, because it's pretty demoralizing to lose 2,000 points in the first round, where if that was multis, it would have just been over. But
yeah.
It's a good one to get the nerves out, and now we have a Mexico where we have the flag immediately visible, so it's going to be all about the region guessing, all about trying to find some useful information here. One of your favorite countries, Rory, do you have any initial impressions here from
one of my favorites for sure. I think, phone codes here, taxis, things like that are going to be useful. Let's see if anybody finds anything. I thought it looked vaguely central, but I'm not too sure. I don't have the biggest view of it. Got a bit of red brick.
Yeah, we do have quite a bit of red brick, but then again, quite a bit of white brick as well.
Yep.
Red brick tends to lean you in the Central Valley, tends to lean you west, like where Eternal has his marker clicked right now. Then again,
we've got 775. Yeah, so 775 phone code there. So it's either going to be somewhat south or somewhat north of Mexico City. So the 7's going towards Guerrero, but they're also found north of Mexico City as well in Tlaxcala.
Big switches from Eternal here. He does not seem to be in the right area for the phone code as far as I remember there. But Mikawai does seem to be. And yeah, there you go. I guess kind of fortunate for Eternal there that it ends up being the northern half of where that area code shows up.
Yep.
But only a little bit of damage dealt there, and we move forward to Southeast Asia, which is notoriously an area of the world that is really great for when you are moving around and looking for info, if you know your stuff.
If you know your stuff. My feed is frozen slightly, but I'll rely on your call outs where we are.
Not to worry. So we're looking at we have an Indonesian flag on the pole there, so we can assume this is indeed Indonesia. Now, for those of you at home who don't understand what moving on Indonesia looks like, it's a very difficult task unless you know the names of the regencies, which are these small little areas of Indonesia. About 400 of them appear in GeoGuessr, as far as I know, and they scattered all around. And if you know the names of them, and we have very different guesses here, by the way, and yeah, if you know the names of them, it can be big damage. I don't know if any player actually found useful information there, but Mikawai may have, because he deals a total of 2,400 damage there in central Kalimantan.
It's huge.
Big stuff.
That's huge.
Are you back up to speed with the story?
Very nearly. I'm just restarting my app.
Excellent. Okay, next one here we have very unique architecture here. We're in a forest. I like it. It's nice and secluded here. We're on a bridge, so there is potential for a 5k if either player gets to the useful information here. We have a minute on the clock. Let's see how they go. Which way will they choose? They're both going north here, and they head out over the bridge here. Okay, actually, we have Mikawai switching to south, so we have two players going in different directions here. That's always fun. Let's see what they're able to find here. We have these red houses, very typical of the Nordics. And with the short dashes on the outside of the road here, should be Sweden. We do indeed have Mikawai checking out that Sweden area. Meanwhile, Eternal just zooming down the road, seeing if he can find anything too useful. But it looks like Mikawai is on the right road here. He found the 62. Maybe the hilliness is leading him to go further towards Norway, which is a hillier country, to be fair. And let's just see what's going on here. So yeah, we have a similar guess from Eternal, who is actually quite far away. This might be the end of game one, I think. Very nearly it is. There we go. Wowie. Okay. So, GC, I don't know if you caught that, but we do have Mikawai taking game number one.
Very, very well played. Very well played. Really close in Sweden. You know, getting a moving win under your belt, it just sets you up great for the rest of the games, especially if you're comfortable with no move. Good start from Miko.
Absolutely. I think Eternal, he had a couple of good rounds, but it just looked like he was getting to the information less effectively than was Mikawai. But it's an entirely different game when it comes to no moving. So we're just going to have to see if Eternal can bounce back here, because I could definitely see that being the case.
Yeah. Agreed. A very different game.
In we go. You're with us now, Rory?
I'm with you. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, we're jumping straight in to game number 2 here. Very exciting stuff, and we're starting out in a rather secluded location, but we have plenty of poles and architecture here to help out the players get the country. They can't see the round yet. The casters are just looking around on the Stockholm side of things. So okay, we're jumping in now.
Very thinking here, Oscar.
Yeah, so we have these square concrete poles, which are very typical of post-Soviet Union. Mm-hmm. And also, post-Soviet countries are where they're most common. Then we have wooden architecture. Both players go in before I can say anything here, but it was just a Lithuania. So.
They both sort of insta-locked Lith, went middle, fair enough.
Yeah, and for example, Latvia would normally have wooden poles. Estonia normally looks a little bit more Nordically influenced. That felt a bit more Russian, or in that case, Lithuanian. So it all checks out. Yep. This one here looks much more gettable in terms of the exact region, because we have the coast here. And I'm assuming that's going to be West Coast, although we haven't seen that yet. Let's see where it actually is.
Okay. We can see the compass now, so that is some West Coast.
Yeah, so with these yellow outer lines and this pole top, we should be in Western Cape. Yellow outer lines meaning South Africa, and West Cape pole top being this little triangle thing. And we actually have a switch to the new compass here from Mikawai mid-round, which is always interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he's really going for the precise lineup. I mean, Western Cape is a large area, so on 1.5 you could actually see a fair bit of damage here. So both players just trying their best to find an angle that fits.
That's absolutely true. I think both players are scanning rather the right direction. So Eternal looking a bit further south here doesn't make as much sense to me here, because you probably would see some mountains. I think, he leaves it in the right area, and indeed Mikawai is You know, for all his precision, he clicked in the water in the end, which is kind of
yeah. But a very close guess again, and I think, you know, showing that he does have quite a bit of moving and pinpointing ability, as we saw in the previous game.
Indeed so. All right, this time we got double yellow lines in the center, and we are in the middle of a desert here, which is quite unique. So let's see what players are thinking here. So, okay, I see that type of guardrail with the yellow and black paint on the end. That is actually... They're both in Chile right now, but that is not something I would associate with Chile. Now switching to southern Peru, that seems more like it. Will Eternal notice? Because I do believe that you would not see such a thing in Chile. Okay, he's looking at it now.
With the road lines too, I mean...
Yes, not to mention the fact that... Yeah, Chile rarely has double yellows. And indeed. To be fair to Eternal, it did look a lot like Chile.
It did, and also maybe the lack of the black and white striped post on the sign there maybe caused him to rule out Peru.
True. So yeah, what Rory's saying is normally Peruvian signposts, so for like directional signage, will have a black white paint job on them, which was not actually the case there, which is kind of rare. So that's a good point.
It is quite rare. Yeah.
Okay, next round here. So this one is an easily solved round. They'll easily get the country here because of the big Google car there. That is the Kenyan Google car. Yeah, it's a big part of GeoGuessr is knowing these different Google cars, but this one's very much day one knowledge. So now it's a matter of, does anyone know any place names here? Because the state often appears on such little signs in Kenya.
It does. It looks to me as though Miko's able to read it. I cannot quite make it out. I'd say knowing Kenyan counties is useful in GeoGuessr because, you know, they do appear on the map, but it takes a while to scan, so being comfortable with them is a great skill to have as a moving player. But
absolutely. But as we can see, no moving it can help as well. The question is, did Miko Y read anything, or is this just a region guess? Because I kind of like Eternal's guess better here if it's just a region guess.
Yeah, Eternal going a bit west, which makes sense with, you know, slightly red soil. Maybe this Google car.
Yeah, more likely there. And indeed, yep. Great guess from Eternal there. Showing he can fight back. That's 1.5k damage. He's in the lead now.
Takes the lead off that. Yep, that's what he wants.
Excellent
Hopefully putting the last game behind him and just sort of playing the locations in front of him now.
That's right. Representing Manchester.
Yes.
And Poland, of course. Okay, next round here. This one is the first round where there is a question about the country here. It's not obvious immediately, which makes it a lot more fun, of course. Let's see which country. I could definitely see the game ending here. What do you reckon, Rory?
I could, yeah. I agree. I mean, 3x is already quite significant, and if somebody goes wrong country, that could easily be game. What are your thoughts here?
My initial vibe was that this is probably Mexico somewhere. That is where Eternal is zooming. The reason being this kind of cobblestone road is quite common there, and we had a black water tank, which is also something you do see often in Mexico. Both players in Mexico, so it will not end here.
They're quite close, yeah. They're in Puebla and Oaxaca. Yeah, okay.
I know that the cobblestone is quite common west.
It is indeed. Valley. Yeah. Okay, that was that Querétaro?
Yeah. Yeah. That is the other state, I think, that's often has it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's another pretty decent hit from Eternal there.
Yes, so bringing it back, and that's kind of what we expected. I mean, Eternal has had a couple of blunders so far, but these last two rounds, I've been impressed with. That's really good play. And we have another one where the country is somewhat ambiguous, I would say.
Let's have a look. Oof, yeah.
So we have a mountains. How interesting.
Wow.
Are we back? Is my question. I feel like this might be Mexico.
It's very possible. You can see this Google car in Mexico, I believe, with the blue in the middle.
Yeah.
Now I think this is slightly newer coverage that I'm slightly less familiar with. But the likes of Angelo have broken down some things like this, I believe. So.
Yeah. So I mean, we do have like a very tropical looking landscape, which is also a bit dry, which is something it's kind of a climate that you often see in Mexico, and so we do have Eternal locking in. Mikawai, has he zoomed in on the country yet?
No, not yet. I think Eternal looks quite confident. Again, they're quite close. Eternal more towards Guerrero, and again,
it's all a bit further west, isn't it? There we go.
It always
Huge
is.
damage here, by the way.
Yeah,
2.4k. Wow. There we go. Eternal. Getting a great guess there, guys. Okay, so just 700 points left on Mikawai. Yeah, the multis have not been in his favor this game. He's really had Eternal make a bit of a comeback on him as the multis have gotten higher, and we moved to round 7 out of 10.
He can definitely lose on this. Yeah, he can definitely lose on this round. I mean, he wouldn't have to be much further away to lose here, and you know, Turkey's pretty big, not always that easy.
Absolutely, Turkey, a big country. If Eternal's closer here, he likely wins the game.
Yep.
Let's break down why this is Turkey. So number one, we have this very kind of asphalty, kind of black and white looking road where the asphalt's kind of a mixed color. And then also we have these white and red chevrons, which are the turning arrows, which are also really common in Turkey. So with that combination and these metal poles, that will be Turkey. Both players, of course, knowing the country. And they're fairly close.
Wow, that might be enough.
Another great guess.
It's enough. Yep, that's enough.
Amazing.
He's done it. 1-1.
Eternal pulling out a performance that is really good. When it came to the big countries, when it came to the rounds that mattered, Eternal was there.
He was there, and very confident as well. Very, very quick. Just doing enough. Consistently closer. Very good performance.
Absolutely. Well played to Eternal. And Mikawai, I don't think he looked too bad there. Just a few poor decisions. The Kenya comes to mind as a round where he blundered a little bit. Everything else, I think the guesses were more than reasonable.
Yeah, they were. The Mexico ones were quite hard.
Yeah, they were hard rounds.
Yeah, I think just, a few high multis in a row, you can just lose the game if your opponent's outguessing you a bit.
Absolutely, but we're back potentially into Mikawai's domain. We saw him collect the information better on the moving games thus far. And now the question is, will it also be the same now? Eternal. Got stuff to prove. Yes.
Hey, we've got Colo here. So players might be looking for clues such as number plates on the side of taxis and lorries, as one example, especially in urban rounds like this.
It's one of the peculiarities of Colombia is that they require the number plate not only to be on the front and the back of the car, but also on the side when it comes to taxis and lorries. So kind of fun. And we found one.
There we go. Miko's found one. Yeah, Manizales.
Do you know what that is? Oh, there it is. Quite a big.
Yeah, he's straight in. He's comfortable. Miko's comfortable. I mean, a lot of the time players will not say they're good moving players, but Miko looks comfortable to me.
Yeah, this is also the vibe I'm getting. And Eternal has not been able to make it to anything useful, unfortunately. And his guess is not too bad, but obviously Manizales was always going to be close. It's going to be 500 points.
Good start for Miko again in the moving game.
Yeah, this is my prediction is Mikawai takes this one. It's just the way it's looking from the play. I mean, this particular game, not the whole series necessarily.
Yeah. From the way it's looking, an NMPZ game here might not be the least likely thing.
Yeah, that is also the case. Okay, so we have double white lines in the center of the road here. Road color, the road line color is so useful for determining the country. And then we also have a whole lot of eucalyptus trees, which they're not exclusive to Australia, but with left-hand drive, you definitely think of it. And we have a zoom in Eternal to the US here. This could be disastrous. Let's hope he takes another look around, because we are driving left-hand side of the road.
Yeah, he's zooming out.
He zoomed out. He's probably realizing the error of his ways, because it is left-hand drive here. That being said, he's very lucky that Mikawai has taken his time. Ooh, and we have place names here. 1,000 kilometers from Sydney.
Okay. Broken Hill is something I recognise as well.
Yeah, so Broken Hill is on the border between Australia, South Australia and New South Wales. So we're probably actually in my state of South Australia here. Indeed, Eternal has made it to the better info, I think, right? Yeah, he has. Wow, he has. It's turned around completely here, guys. Look at this.
Yeah. Miko's still around Brisbane, I think.
Miko's in Brisbane. This is huge damage.
That's huge.
Oh my gosh, it was in Mildura, a town I've been to myself, and there we go, 3.3k after being plonked in Alabama. Eternal turns it around on moving. Simply disastrous for Mikawai there. Had immediately a better grip, but did not make it to the sign.
I mean, he can feel lucky though, because I think had that been like a 2.5, it might have wiped him out straight away. So he's got a chance to come back. He's got a chance to come back.
If this happened on a later round, at 2 times damage, 3 times damage, then it could have been just about over. Instead, Mika White lives to battle another day, but this is a nice and rural round, probably favoring Eternal from what we've seen so far. And he's racing down the road, seeing if there's anything on offer here. We have something here. Lead River Hot Springs, something like that.
Okay.
This immediately struck me as Canada, just kind of feels very northern with these birch trees, but it could still be the US potentially.
Yeah, I know, I like the look of Canada. Did we see a car with no fronts there? Or did I?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, this out here, you get so many travelers that you just really... A lot of people, you know... BC Park's huge, but they've both come to it at the exact same time.
They've both got it, yeah.
They're different signs, actually. You see that?
Did it say Liard River? Yeah, I mean, yeah. Liard River's familiar. I think that's findable. It rings a bell.
I got the feeling this is further north than where they're clicking. It is rather flat, and Eternal is plonked himself in the mountains here. We'll see about that. I feel like Mika White's guess is potentially significantly better here.
They're pretty far apart.
They are very far apart.
Wow.
And look at that, it was much further north there.
Yeah, Liard River, that's it.
To be fair, it was quite healing. I take that back, but there we go. 2,000 points of damage goes the favor of Mika White, thus nullifying the last round, essentially. Unfortunately, for
more or less. Yeah, I mean that 800 points difference, you know, in multis, that's not really a substantial lead. So more or less
change in reality. Yep.
Yeah.
Big city here in Chile. We see a Chilean flag, obviously. Everyone playing at home will know that. But the question is, can these pros work out which city it's going to be? I got the feeling that this is Santiago or North, based on how dry it is.
Yeah, I would agree. Even could be one of the areas, west or northwest of Santiago, or
maybe Ovaya, Copiapo, one of those cities.
Yeah,
one
could be
of those ones. Okay, so we have a big road here. They're going to make it to some information soon, presumably. Although the suburbs of Latin America can be tough for information.
They definitely can. It seems like there's plenty to look at here, but it might not all be useful. So it's a bit about decision making here.
Exactly right. Another Chilean flag.
Easy to get distracted by the wrong things to look at. Let's just see.
Exactly. No place names there. No place names at all, really. Okay, we have a La Serena. And we have one closer to Santiago here. Indeed, there may be a Santiago guess here. Indeed. Okay. Quite a big spread here, and it is between. In Iapel.
Between. We'll see a bit of damage. Okay.
500 points. Mika White under the pump here. Yeah. I feel like these players are quite evenly matched. I definitely favor Mika White to take this one out, but yeah, I get the feeling this is more even than I initially thought. We have a very interesting round here. What are you thinking of it, Rory?
So let's have a look. We've got fronts. So we're in North America here with the double yellow center line. It looks like, and these cars.
Yep.
Let's have a look. See what info they find.
Absolutely.
Lake of the Woods. Okay, interesting.
That sounds like it probably is the town name here.
Yeah.
But sounds also like a small place because I've never heard of it myself.
Oh, it said Kenora. Kenora is a town in Ontario.
Yeah. Is it further west? I feel like it might have been further west.
I think it might be near the. Is it near the Mani border?
Yeah, that's kind of what I remembered it being.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And Miko's found it. This could be huge. This could be massive.
Oh, this should be it. Because I don't think Eternal came to the place name. And he's in America. Wait, he could happen to go close. He could happen to go close. Look at this.
He's got the vibe.
If he switches, if he can see it right now. Oh, if he switches, he's alright. Let's see. He switches! Oh my gosh, he might survive here. I think he might survive. Oh, it's so close.
Oh my god.
He does. Oh, what a clutch switch.
Yeah, great switch. I mean, he got the wrong country, but the vibe was there for North, and he survives based on that.
In some ways, a bad guess, but you're right. He had the vibe for the trees.
Yeah.
And, he survives, and we're in Europe. Now,
Europe is a great game, by the way.
It's been a very back and forth and fun game. It's probably not what he wanted to see, Eternal, being on 500 points. Because if Mika White makes his way to a sign, finds the exact place as we know he's liable to do, then big points or medium-sized points could be going the Eternals' way. Vice versa, probably not going to be able to knock out Mika White though. But are we in Poland? Or is this Hungary? I think it might be Hungary, but I couldn't work it out yet.
Let's have a look. There's a bit of language. I can't quite read it.
I think that's Hungarian. I think that's Hungarian.
Yeah, it's Hungary.
Yeah.
So actually, Hungary's really not what you want to see if you're Eternal, because it's a country where people are very liable to click middle, and if they both click middle, Eternal could be slightly out-hedged and lose. That would be a shame, but let's see.
Exactly. He has made his way to some signage. I believe, yeah, this is about what I expected. It's not going to be knockout damage. Yeah.
Right on Balaton. Wow.
Right on the lake there. Definitely, I think maybe they could have gotten it because we had a bit of a German language, so maybe like a touristy area. If you think about Hungarian touristy areas, probably around there, right?
Good point. Yep.
Anyway.
Ooh, wow. This is an interesting round.
So, if you guys are not familiar, when you have a big tent on the Google cart, as we have here, Rory, this would be Mongolia. And
it would.
As Rory said, it's probably going to be an interesting round because Mongolia is a very specific country for whether you've learnt this or that.
Yep.
So, we immediately have Eternal in the east of Mongolia. I think that is correct. I think it should be east of Ulaanbaatar here.
Yep.
Based on the Google car, but Mikołaj, we just don't know what he knows here. When he is also east, okay. So it all comes down to the region guess now. I think I like Eternal's guess better at this stage, but Mikołaj still got plenty of time to think.
So has he found a name that he's scanning for there? I mean, a lot of the time, even in a moving duel, Mongolia is going to be a sort of no-move style round.
Yes, and don't forget, Mongolia is huge, guys. We're probably going to see the game end here, and I think I like Eternal's guess better, but it is Eternal on it! He's done it.
That's huge. He's
coming back from behind, 4,000 points of damage, and he goes up 2-1 in the series, winning a moving duel there. Wow, it all came down to one guess.
Wow, really impressive.
And just think about it, Eternal, if he didn't switch to Minnesota from Wisconsin on that US-Canada toss-up, then it would have been all over. So, I mean, simply epic stuff.
That was a great game. That's why, moving duels can provide amazing content. That's a perfect example of it.
Absolutely.
And now, I think with how Eternal played in the no-move game, he's probably the favourite now because he has 2 chances to win, the NM game and potentially the NMPZ game.
2 chances is huge, man, and we already know that Eternal looking like a more of a no-move player here than Mikołaj, so wow. And to get so close on Mongolia, it's just impressive. It just is. It's not easy to do. You have to really study your stuff.
Yep.
But okay, back into no-moving, Rory. Take us through the first round here.
Here we go. Right. Did we have a Billy? I sort of caught the last second of that.
Let's have a look. What do we have? Looks like we have some concrete poles here. These ones are found in a few countries, this exact style, but I would say that we're looking at Chile here based on the landscape.
Yep, doesn't seem particularly northern to me. It's quite hard though because we're sort of in a industrial suburb. We don't have a great view of the landscape, so things like that make it a bit trickier.
Yes, if you're ever looking for a good way to make a round difficult, then find an industrial zone. But let's focus on the round because we have Eternal in Brazil here. He has not worked out that these are Chilean poles.
Yeah.
And that is, again, it's round 1, so it won't be the be-all and end-all, but any other round, that would be disastrous.
Absolutely.
And I think we have Mikołaj rather close here, so we're going to see huge points exchanged here. But these are Chilean poles, so unfortunately Eternal will be wrong unless he switches. Maybe not. Yeah.
Really good from Miko there. I mean, that's a massive start, 3.5k. He has every chance to win
round 1, guys.
Yeah.
And so, it's just one of these things where I think Eternal, he's someone who has really good vibes and then is also much more liable to make big mistakes. It seems like Mikołaj, the more experienced, the more level-headed of the players, I think.
I think so. And I think also, Eternal, if your strategy is to guess fast, sometimes you will just make mistakes. He seems to be going straight into the map of his first instinct, and sometimes, especially under high-pressure environments, sometimes that can bite you.
That's the thing. I can only imagine that at home Eternal would have got that round correct, but he's sitting on the stage right now. Thousands of people watching. It's not so easy.
Difficult.
Okay, so
right back.
Lots of info here. A lot of Cyrillic. So they can probably work out the language based on that. I mean, What is this exactly, though? It's quite difficult to say. I would assume Russia, but
yeah,
not too sure. And so, it could all be okay for Eternal here. This is probably the type of round he wanted to see if he has any Russia experience. I see that neither player focusing on the antenna here, so maybe they're not quite sure about the antenna metas in Russia. Okay, we do have a zoom here on the antenna. Oh, and he's very much considering a wide area. One thing I've noticed about this round is we have a lot of Asian cars. So I'm thinking East Russia is rather likely. And,
with the hills as well. Yeah.
Mikawai, as ever, late to zoom in onto the map. He's a lot further east. I think we could see the game end right here, guys. Look. And
it was.
Oh, he's so close. It's over. It's over. It goes 2-2.
Wow.
Yep, there we go. Eternal knocked out after 2 rounds. Very consistent stuff there from Miko. This has been such a hard to predict series so far, and Mikawai, who said he doesn't want it to go to NMPZ, is already at our final stage. No moving, panning, or zooming, Rory.
Wow, you must be happy, Oscar, to see an NMPZ game so early.
Absolutely, NMPZ, of course, the best game mode in GeoGuessr. And we're here for round number 5. Eternal versus Mikawai. I don't know, Mikawai, I feel like he's the more complete player so far. And of course, if either of these players lose this round, they are going home empty-handed. They are not going to the GeoGuessr World Cup. So guys, get some hype in the chat.
Yeah.
Because here we go.
This is brutal. One player must go home.
One player must go home. It will be Mikawai, the Pole living in the Netherlands, or Eternal, the Pole living in Great Britain. And speaking of Poles, we have some here in this round, Rory. Take us through what we're looking at.
So I think we're in Turkey, and it's quite green. So yeah, a Western guess here.
That's such a fast guess by Eternal. Yeah. He's not playing around, guys. And it is indeed Turkey, in my opinion. And no!
Because
we do have corn, but no, this is Turkey, surely. And what a guess! Eternal immediately there. Oh my gosh, the amount of damage in the last 3 rounds we've seen has been off the charts, guys. My goodness, Mikawai has to feel cut up about that. He has 1,400 points left to salvage his chances at the GeoGuessr World Cup. My goodness.
Wow.
Take a moment, guys, to gather composure, because we have our next round coming up. Looking around a bit here, it looks like it's probably Croatia to me.
I like that, yeah.
But of course, we're looking around now. They only see the still image. We're looking around now, they don't see that. So here we go. This is the round, this is what they see. I think they do see the guardrail, but it's probably a little bit too far away to say. And so I think the country is definitely up for grabs here. Italy zoom by Mikawai, rather reasonable. What do you think?
It is reasonable. Yeah, it's reasonable. I can see the Italy zoom. I think, NMPZ, this is a bit of a Mediterranean toss-up in some ways. I do like the Croatia call, but you never know. Italy could end up being the closer guess here. Let's see what Eternal does.
It could be the closer guess. We have a Greece zoom. Wow. This was one round. Yes, it was Croatia. And it was. Good guess by Mikawai there. Getting another 1,000 points, by the way. Not bad. Eternal was the one to zoom late there instead of early, which was kind of funny. He was only in on the map about 30 seconds in, whereas Mikawai immediately zoomed into Italy. And now we have a round which, I mean, who do you think this favors? We're in Japan now. We have very typical Japanese landscape. Who do you think this favors?
I actually don't know. I don't recall either player mentioning this as their strengths or weaknesses. I think pole plates are probably too far to be able to see. We may just see a sort of hedge guess from both players. I don't know if the pole tops have anything useful. Let's see what they do.
That's right. The pole tops look generic, especially from this distance. Yeah. And I think this favors Eternal a lot, because being ahead, Japan NMPZ is quite random, and so as long as he outplonks his opponent by 300 kilometers, and as you can see, they're quite far apart from one another, this could be it. That being said, I think I may prefer Mikawai's guess here, to be honest with you.
They're both just creeping back towards the middle there.
As is so common on NMPZ. But look at this, guys. Walk in. This could be it. Yeah, Mikawai is shuffling south and south here. I preferred his original guess, I think, but it could well be where he clicked as well. And Eternal leaving it a little bit further west. So it will be at minimum 1,000 points here, unless it's right between them. And we'll see. And it was a little bit further towards Tokyo there. Mikawai a little bit annoyed switching off there. There's 1,000 points though.
It's still solid. I think with these multis, the gap they have in health is not not really necessarily significant. It depends on the rounds, but we'll see.
It would be a huge comeback from Mikołaj to do this.
Yeah,
Bearing in mind, guys, this is a knockout game. I can't emphasize this enough. One player has come to Stockholm and will have their dreams crushed right here. The other will stay alive with a chance to go to Sweden.
In what I believe might be, is this Indonesia?
I think so. And so we have an immediate Ocean Hedge plonk by Mikołaj. Not to say he'll guess there in the end. Looks like we have rice cultivation here. Is that right? Do you think that's right, Rory?
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, you could think of maybe sort of East Java or something, but there are other possibilities too.
Yeah, rice cultivation definitely most common in the island of Java, and then secondarily in the southern half of Sulawesi. The kind of interesting thing is here we don't have a tiled roof, which is the thing you normally see in Java, which is why we have Eternal plonking out further east here. It could be a better guess, but it's a huge commit, and it is further east.
Amazing, and it's going to be game.
Him out.
He's done it.
Wow,
amazing guess. Really
Definitely. The one region we forgot to say that cultivates rice is the East Nusa Islands there, and really fantastic guess there by Eternal. He had the vibes, he used the roof, and yeah, despite some big blunders, we have Eternal moving forward to progress to the semi-finals. Big stuff from Mr. Eternal there.